All right, we are live. Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, Pianhki, Patai Muntu Nefer Amun Ra. And we are back with another powerful show with a powerful brother. And before I have him introduce himself, let me do my usual spiel. Let me say hotep to my fellow Kemetic brothers and sisters. Let me say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. Let me say shalom to my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. Let me say assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Let me say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. Let me say peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earths. And let me say Jambo to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. As y'all know, I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you black, I'm with you, and I hope that you with me. We can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable, and we can have unity without uniformity. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. With that, my brother, please introduce yourself to the Paradigm Shift TV audience, and let's get it.
Excuse me. Shalom, shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to the Most High in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. I want to thank my brother for letting me on once again. Definitely appreciate the extended invitation. I want to thank everybody out there in the listening audience. Thank you for your time, and definitely just going to go over a couple of things. Like my brother says, I just kind of want to paraphrase it. God save the African king, and we're definitely going to just build on a few things today. All praises.
No doubt, no doubt. With that, I just jump right in, bro. So, I noticed you on the Dagger Squad, putting in work and laying down your spiel, and kind of seeing you go up against Garfield and some of the members of Dagger Squad, and then seeing you over on Savio channel. I know you got a debate coming up with my man Black Lion Supreme.
Right.
How did you first get into the knowledge that you were an Israelite, or were you born into it?
No, I came into the knowledge of self, I would say around 2009, 2010. It was actually my younger brother who, who revealed it to me as far as the knowledge of our Israelite heritage. I pretty much came up in the church besides that. And like all young black men, I made a couple of mistakes and kind of strayed away to the point to where I kind of, put religion on a back burner because I seen more tangible problems that believing in a white Jesus wasn't gonna fix. So I've always been spiritual, but I kind of put it to the back burner until I learned the truth. And once I learned the truth, it was pretty much all over after that, as far as my direction.
Gotcha. And so you don't were you ever involved, with like the One West camps, or were you always separate from that?
No, I never was in a camp. Like I say, when my brother told me about the information, uh, he kind of started out watching. I can't remember the guy's name now, but they're kind of one of the big ones. Not ISUPK, not IUIC, but it was one of those. The other with the guy in England, and but we've never really been affiliated with any camps.
Gotcha. And so, if I may, what's your stance on the camps, the 12 tribes chart, and that information, and how does your information differ from it?
Yeah, the 12 tribe chart is definitely something I feel isn't right and exact. I don't believe in it. The camps You know, like the brothers in the camps, I want to give the brothers in the camp a shout out, but I definitely feel that, you know, I don't know right now, but definitely in the beginning, it was influenced by the adversary, you know. So I never really dealt with camps, but like I say, the brothers that's in there, that's really genuine. They just really haven't had it fully revealed to them yet. I don't have nothing against those brothers, but the doctrine is hateful, you know, and on top of everything else is incorrect. So much love to my brothers, but yeah, we need to tighten that doctrine up a little bit.
Got you. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into your doctrine and let you break down what it is, or what stance or what paradigm you come from as it relates to being an Israelite, and how it is you all see this particular paradigm in contrast to how some of our other brothers see it.
Okay. Well, if you're familiar with anything that I do, or you know the information that I bring, or the even the moniker I go by Kushite Israelite, and a lot of people wonder how can I say that when it's just simple. You know, it's just a simple understanding. Well, first of all, when you look at Abraham, Abraham comes from the Kasdim, or rather the Chaldeans, which comes from Shem and Ham, or rather a son of Shem and a daughter of Ham, which is a Cushite, coming together. And not only that, when you look at my mother's heritage, you know, with her being of the Native American people, she's a Cushite, because it's my understanding and the information that I've come across that the original Native American or the Khoisan people. So just in honor of my mother's heritage, and also just to let people know that, you know, as I was saying earlier with the camps, it was kind of like a declaration to the camps that, you know, I'm a Kushite Israelite, and that's where I stand, and it's firm. Because, you know, I kind of really got a real bad distaste in my mouth how they would talk about fellow Israelite Africans and fellow non-Israelite Africans. So the Kushite Israelite was an ode to that.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, so I hear you, and that's what initially gave me a bad taste. You know, seeing like the signs and hearing some of the things that they would say. You know, stinking Africans, and some of the
Right.
rhetoric and misinformation about, our African brothers and sisters. So, uh,
Exactly.
but I get that it's part of the rhetoric at this point, and so I found it not more palatable, but more. I'm a little more tolerant of it because I understand that it's a lot of it is ignorance, and so.
Right.
But yeah, get into your spiel as far as history, your beliefs. Do you believe in the New Testament as well, or do you strictly adhere to the
I
Torah?
I believe in the New Testament.
Okay,
Uh, I'm definitely a believer in Yeshua Hamashiach, and I have a Facebook page as well, Valley of the Dry Bones, and I speak of the New Testament and what a person really has to do to understand it, because a lot of things we see on the surface that can take us away from it. But what needs to be understood is that when it was brought together in 325 AD at the Council of Nicaea, this was basically, and I'm trying to see how I could put it in contemporary terms, it was as if all the heads of Sony got the catalog for a big artist like Prince, Michael Jackson, and they hand selected songs that's more palatable to them. So when the people who framed the New Testament, they were picking books like Philippians or Ephesians, those are two cities in Asia Minor. You have Philippi and you have uh, Ephesus. But the thing we got to understand is they could when we go to Ethiopia, we see books that they don't have. So when we look at the New Testament, we're looking at people who put books together that only wanted something that was congruent to them. So they took something that, so say for instance, they could have very well had a book of Libya or a book of Moreau, but it was going to speak too much against what they wanted to say. So they didn't include those books. So
Gotcha.
although although we look at books like Romans and Philippians and people try to dismiss it, no, I just look at it as a very generic understanding of what we need to know and something that, was commercial enough for to pass by to them. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I look at those Greek books because they're Greek cities. So just imagine if we were to have the books that were labeled African cities. So
Got you. So to kind of add to your analogy, it's like taking all the songs from Thriller and Purple Rain, but leaving out, songs like They Don't Really Care About Us and Sign of the Times.
right, exactly.
I got you. I got you.
Exactly.
I got you. So go ahead, build on that a little more and kind of illustrate for us the overall effects of what you feel the ramifications was of those choices.
Well, it was done so ambiguous, meaning if if I laid it out is correct in the fact that they picked the most agreeable things that they can get away with and X out certain books. With that being said, when we're looking at how the church was formed, it's something that, for one, is not Hebraic, not even New Testament. It's filled with pagan practices, and all it takes is just us to read the book. So when I first came into knowledge of self, I was, I'm one of the types that, you know, a person really can't tell me anything. Like if you tell me a fact, I want to see where you got that fact from. That way I can check it for myself and I can repeat it. So when looking at the history of Israel in Africa, that's why I say I am of Israel because there were Israelites in Africa. Now, I really don't do the DNA thing because, for one, there's no bones of an ancient Jew to test against. And then for two, I feel it's a lot of people that's kind of talking over their heads. And, a lot of time the information isn't fully processed. So I stay away from the genetic and the DNA argument or evidence. I go to the historical facts. I go to the anthropological evidence. I go to the archaeological evidence and the oral tradition. So when you're looking at West Africa, I will be the first one to tell you that I'm not going to say every person that came on the boat was an Israelite. I wouldn't say that. But I would say this in the fact that, a majority of them were, and even a greater percentage have Israelite blood running through their veins. And I make that a different category because you can be an Israelite and you can have Israelite blood in your veins and not be an Israelite. Because I come from the school of thought that in Africa we had, Egyptians that migrated in the area. But even after them, with a more solid, history to it, are the Carthaginians. So what I look at, I don't see a African as a Yoruba or a Tutsi or a Hutu or a Mandi. I look at them before that, because all of those tribal designations I've come to see just through reading the records is that a lot of these tribes came up over the last 1,000 years. You have the Akim, the Akyem, that's part of the Akan people. They split from the Akan, were attacked by the Niki, who's another Akan people, and over time they coalesced into separate tribes to the point where they're not even, they don't, like, some tribes don't even share the same cultural traits, because you would have another section come in, take them over, separate them from their parent tradition, so now they have a whole nother culture and a way of life. And that's how I look at the situation with the majority of the tribes in Africa. The history leads us to see that, it was just a scramble, as a result of that Arab slave trade. It destroyed a lot of African kingdoms. So that's the route I take. A lot of brothers, and rightfully so, because it's the truth. They say, you have the black Ujahideen in Spain, which is true, but I kind of like to look at that east-west migration, because that's where you had the true to form, no questions about it, sub-Saharan Negro Israelite. So that's kind of been my point of interest. Although I do have a presentation on my channel about the so-called quote-unquote black Spanish Jew. We have instances, or I have a source on there where it speaks of the richest man in Spain was not only a Jew, but he was a black Jew. So it's a very interesting history when you look at it, because what they try to do is they try to separate Africa from the Bible. So what we got to do is give that back to the mother continent, definitely.
So it's your attestation that Africans, continental Africans, and Israelites are the same people. Am I following you, or am I off on that?
No, I'm not going to say every continental African. I wouldn't say
Okay.
that. Like I say, I feel it's a mixture of peoples. I would say our Carthaginians, Egyptians, uh, Israelites, and then after that, you have earlier people, the Garamantes. But as far as like recorded history goes, once you get past the Carthaginians and the people in Canaan and the Israelites, you kind of go to just smaller tribes. So I'm of the belief that it's just not Israel in Africa. It's many different peoples, many
Gotcha.
different other Shemitic peoples as well as Hamitic people.
So are you saying that the Israelites were always in Africa, or are you saying they came in and migrated to these different areas within the continent?
I would say they came in only for the simple fact because Israel is a very young nation. We started where about around 1000 BC is when we had our united monarchy with Solomon and David. So I would say around those times is when we started going into Africa. And even before that, you have stories of Israelites not going to Israel in the Exodus, whereas the Israelites made a left going to Canaan land. You had stories and histories and oral traditions of some going right. and going into Africa. You have a town called Olud Musa. It's in North Africa, sons of Moses. And one thing we do know in the Arab tradition, I mean, Moses is respected, but he's not venerated. And not only Moses, that's another thing that shows me that these were original Israelites, because you have a lot of Muslim brothers and sisters or brothers in that time with Israelite names, not Arab names. They're not Muhammad, they're not, but they have names like Ibrahim, Yosef, very rare you hear Ishmael. You hear Ishmael, but that's about the only one. So you had these people that, as far as tradition goes, that were always in Africa since the Exodus. But even after the Exodus, like I was saying with Solomon, when you go to the second book of Chronicles in the 26th chapter, he talks about him and a Phoenician, which is a Carthaginian, setting up a port in the Red Sea, going to Spain. And if you look at the history, the true history, and I say true because this is what the secular call true history. I call the Bible true history, but just saying. But when you look at secular history, it shows that the Bible is true in that fact, because the Carthaginians were the first ones to, exploit the tin mines in Spain, because Spain had a lot of tin. And even with the traveling of the Israelite into Spain, you see that the Israelites, according to not only the book of Chronicles, but Dr. Ben, when he speaks of his mother, he speaks of his mother coming from Yemen, going to the Caribbean from Spain. So his mother was in Yemen to Spain and went to the Caribbean. So that shows that link that even Solomon was talking about even back then. So that's kind of how I like to look at the whole picture with some of our migrations.
Gotcha. Now I know you get into a lot of disagreements with some of our brothers in the camps, because everything you just said is kind of countering what they say. Like how do those conversations go when you build them with those brothers? Are there a lot of disagreements, or do y'all just kind of build and kind of go back and forth with regards to the info?
You know what? Like I said, when I first came into the community, as far as social media, that was my aim, to just go at the camps, because I felt they were just putting out a lot of false information. But since then, I really haven't been interacting with many camps. I've spoken to a lot of brothers individually, not really like live or discussions, but for the most part, I really don't come across too many. I've had some pushback from a couple of people. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Torah Knights, Judah Nazareth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of had discussion, but never a problem or anything. But yeah, I never really got too much pushback from Israelites as far as we being in Africa. Now we might have doctrinal disagreements, but yeah, I never, as right now as I can recall, I never really spoke with too many people in the camps, because again, man, I like to have discussion, like me fussing over a 12 tribes chart, or if I think the white man is my twin brother, that I mean, once, yes, I just know, yeah, those conversations, like, they really can't lead nowhere but to just, yeah. So I never really talked to too many camp brothers.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I was curious because yeah, everything you said was kind of like, okay, he it seemed like you were saying they've been in Africa a lot longer than what some of our brothers believe. And then even with some of the cross migrations that you talked about seem to kind of counter what they say. So yeah, that was kind of interesting to me, and I figured that was probably a interesting dialogue between you and them. But if you haven't really, I can see why you wouldn't necessarily want to even get into it, so to
Yeah.
speak, with that type of energy. But yeah,
And then you gotta realize that camps are very structured. It's not like, at least the circles I've been in, I haven't really came across too many camp brothers. I think brother I speak to, Akmalak, I think he's a camp, but you know, we've never really had a discussion about that. But I mean, it's just that it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just I don't. Yeah, I would rather discuss something where we can present evidence, and you can't really present evidence for that. So
right.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. So now when people, because I notice you get into a lot of disagreements on the Dagger Squad, when people just outright dismiss your information without really giving you a chance to kind of explain it, how frustrating do that be? Because I tend to I disagree with with a lot of your info, but I still wanted to hear you out and hear you explain it because it seemed like I haven't really got a full chance to hear you break it down yet.
Right, right. Well, a lot of it is, man. I mean, I really can't say. Maybe it's just the truth hurts. I mean, I don't know, man. But
Right.
I like say for instance when I was speaking with Sean, you know, it's like you can have facts looking you in the face, and it's like it's like you just don't want to give up your ground because I mean I guess you might seem to come off as weak or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean I've learned a lot of patience. I definitely changed as far as like going back and forth. Although sometimes I do still kind of get caught up into that, and I try to get out of that. But there's nothing wrong with that. But I just be patient, bide my time, and wait for my time. All I ask for is 20 seconds uninterrupted. That's all. And after that, they can say what they have to say. But what I always want to do is stay on the side of logic. Like we can't like read a source that says we can't read a source that says south of Tripoli in the land of Ghana, in the land of Kush, in the land of Abyssinia, and say that that place is talking about Libya. Like we can't do simple things like that. But I enjoy going on Garfield because I like the battle with the information. You know, it's never like it seemed like I'm always talking to three or four people, but I mean it's fine. I mean that doesn't bother me. I enjoy the interaction. Long as it don't like get too disrespectful and too out the way, we can definitely do it. And I have no problem with my information being disrespected because I disrespect false information all the time. So we can always have that type of engagement, but we're not going to disrespect each other. At least I'm not going to disrespect nobody. And I just try to keep it that way. But yeah, man, Garfield is, he got some brothers on there with some minds that can think. And, you know, uh, I just go on there just to, see what they know and just explain what I see going on. But for the most part, it's a interesting channel.
Oh yeah, shout out to the Dagger Squad, especially my,
Yeah,
my,
shout
my
out.
brother Sabio, my brother Black Lion
Yeah,
Supreme,
shout out to Sabio, man. That's my man,
Garfield.
Black
You know,
Line.
no
Yeah, no
doubt,
doubt.
no
Yeah,
doubt.
no
That's
doubt.
that's that's my man's in them. So yeah, I was just asking to kind of get your perspective. So, but yeah, now I know you got a debate coming up with my brother Black Lion. Do you do debates often, or is this kind of like something that you kind of doing as a sort of a special occasion?
Nah, when I first came into the community, and I want to shout out my man Sal Showtime at Debate Talk for You. That's why I came in at. I was a debater over there. And from there I moved on to another platform. But I kind of left that platform because, I'm not gonna say I'm a real picky person, but if so I just left. So, but I'm a debater. I like to debate. So me and Black Lions having a debate Wednesday on is the Abrahamic faiths the most murderous, torturous, put your adjective here, fate of all time. So we're gonna be going into that because I feel it's definitely not. And I mean, if you like I say, a lot of things that we look at with the Bible are a lot of knee-jerk reactions. So once the knee finished jerking, I'm just gonna show Black Lion why I think that's not the case. So that's gonna be Wednesday, and I'm not sure on the time. I think it's like 6 o'clock.
Okay, I'll definitely be tuned into that. Like I say, Black Lion,
Appreciate it,
my
King.
man's
Yeah,
in there for sure, for sure.
yeah. I had to,
I'm
hey,
here
I
to
had
do.
to.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I had to get the time stamp on my man Black Lion because he tried to do the robot dope before we start fighting, so I had.
Yeah,
But
hey, I don't mean to root against you, bro. I'm
hey,
building
nah,
with
man.
you, but that's my man's in them. So,
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
but
Hey, one thing when I come across those such as yourself, I know you are who you are, not out of hate for me or what I stand for.
no
Because
doubt,
like
no doubt,
you spent the first 2 minutes of your intro shouting out all the brothers.
no
You know
doubt.
what I'm saying? So when it's brothers like that, I have no problem. Like we comrades, you know what I'm saying, as far as how we feel about our people. So yeah,
Absolutely,
man, those are my brothers, man, and you know, uh yeah, I know you're gonna be rooting against me, not to be hating, but
exactly.
just so
Right.
I welcome it. I welcome the challenge to make you not hate what I'm saying.
There you
Not
go.
saying you
I
hate
appreciate
it,
it.
but yeah, no doubt,
I
no
appreciate
doubt.
it. So yeah, I my brother in the chat, 85 Films, and this is my man. He always support. He always in the chat. But I said, he said, why are you talking to me about the word of God when I'm a non-believer? And so my thing is this: I said, because you're a black man and all black people are welcome here. So my brother asked, why black people, what you got against white people or people of any other race? I ain't got nothing against no race that ain't got nothing against me. But if they
Right,
got something against me and my people, fuck them.
right,
Period.
exactly. And
I'm
not
black,
only that,
so
right,
I
and not on
represent black people.
right,
And if
right, right.
anybody got a problem with that, kick rocks till your toes bleed.
That's a fact.
Black
That's a fact.
power in this motherfucker.
All
So
day.
and that's it. So and I don't apologize for it. Because
Cause
I don't see no white people apologizing for sticking up for their people and representing their people and their
right,
values and their beliefs.
right, right. See, it's on autopilot now. And when I say autopilot, I mean white supremacy. Like they don't have to be fully engaged in white supremacy for you to realize that they are white supremacists. Because to me, it's like a race. They gonna run with you, but at some point they gonna stop running with you. So that's how I look at white supremacy. It's a system, like you say, I'm not against all white people, but it's a lot of people, like W.E.B. Du Bois said in the book one time, and he was speaking about the white woman in, the Victorian South, antebellum South, brushing her hair with a brush. And he was explaining how she is just as much involved with the enslavement of our people as the slaver on the seven seas. Because that brush that she's using, those luxuries that she's using, that mind state that she's acquiring, it's all to the detriment and the oppression of the black man. I've dealt with the European before, and I'm not gonna say they all bad, but what I will say is that they all have an impression of you, whether they met you or not. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I've met Europeans who've told me they hate Europeans, So it's, like I said, I don't never wanted to get misconstrued that, I'm against Europeans, but like you say, I just love my people,
Yeah, bro. Like I tell people all the time, like real shit. I don't speak in general terms about any group of people. So I'm not gonna sit here and come on that bullshit. All white people are bad. All Europeans are bad. That's dumb.
Right.
I'm not dumb. Like, so if you get that impression of me, you need to do some research. So I know it's fucked up people who black. Right. And we need to either try to re-educate them and get their mind right, or they can kick rocks till their toes bleed if they doing something that's detrimental to us as a people. But this is my thing about white people, and I mean racist white people. I don't have any use for them. Period. I'm not praying for their forgiveness. I'm not praying for their redemption. I'm not hoping they change their mind. I hope they die. I hope they mama catch cancer and die in their sleep. And it is what the fuck it is. Like, if you hate me and my people, then I have no use for you. Period. And I don't apologize for that shit. Like, this is survival. And that's all it is to it. This ain't no game. So I say this. I talk shit about Vocab Malone. And I don't like the fact that he feel as a white man, it's his right to come and criticize what black people believe in. I said it on this channel and I meant it. He got word through my man G-Con, and he could have went on his channel and said whatever he had to say about what I said, if he even addressed it. He got a much bigger channel than I do, but he came on here, and him coming on here helped my channel exponentially. He didn't have to do that. So that's a white man that came on and helped me, even though I was critiquing him. So I don't think all white people bad. I don't think that man racist, and that man did me a favor. Whether people agree with him coming on the channel or not, I don't care, because I know he did me a favor. So I'm not on the whole all white people evil shit. But if I'm talking about racist white people, I shouldn't have to preface it with saying racist white people. You should know which white people I'm talking about. And if you don't, then something wrong with you. Period.
Right. And like you say, man, it's not just them, because you have your very own people that's your enemy. And just to show the infinite wisdom that's within the Torah, and speaking to the brothers in the camps, how they would always say we were sold by the African, and things like that. When you look at the Torah, the very first person that sold an Israelite was an Israelite. Joseph was sold by his brothers to an Arab. So when you look at that, and you also look at the story of Esau, who was a twin of Jacob and was his enemy, to me, the story that's told is that it's almost as if the Most High looked into the future and seen we were going to be divided between black and white. So I see in that story of Esau and Jacob that it's your own brother that can be your enemy. So let's not get fixated on certain things like that. So yeah, my brother, definitely.
I'll be a fool to sit up here and talk reckless and talk crazy about what I want to do to the racist white man, and not call out that treacherous black man that's still selling our people poison on the block. He gotta go too if he don't change.
Yeah.
Period. Like, this ain't This ain't about black and white. This is about survival. So if a black person doing something that's detriment to black people, they gotta go. If they ain't willing to change, like miss me with the bullshit.
And
I'm not for no fuck shit when it comes to being about my people. Like you said at the beginning of every show, I shout out everybody because I don't care what black people believe in, as long as it's black people. Yeah. Period. And you can come on here and say whatever the fuck you want to say. It is what it is.
And just another thing for me to show me the Africanness of not only the Torah but the Israelite people. You can look at the Maccabean revolt. You can look at the revolt in Haiti. You can look at the Nat Turner revolt. All of those revolts started off with us killing the coon. You know, the story of Maccabees, he had to kill a coon.
That's crazy.
when you look at Haiti, they had to kill all the coons.
Yeah.
So we definitely got to take care of what's in house first.
Yeah, like Malcolm said, the field Negro and the house Negro. That house nigga gonna go Warren Master if you don't take care of him.
Right. He's definitely gonna tell what's happening. So we definitely gotta, me personally, I feel, with us being like we spend at least $1 trillion a year, or maybe I would have to look at those numbers. But our spending power is enormous in America. And I feel through that, and as well as taking control of our local politics, I feel that's the way. As long as we are in America, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Because,
that's the next economic boycott is taking away our spending dollars. But it's hard to tell people not to go buy them toys on Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard to say don't go buy that turkey on Thanksgiving. It's hard not to support that politician that you got in your head. Your ancestors died so you had the right to vote. They died so you had the choice. Yeah. Not to go vote, but that you had it because you ain't had no choice. Or they didn't have no choice. They died so you would have a choice. So you got the power to say no. Not that you just acquiesce and go vote for anybody. It's so that you got the power to say, if you don't vote, if you don't do what's in my interest, I ain't voting for you.
Right.
But we get it twisted and say we just got to vote for some damn body.
No. Our no is just as powerful as our yes.
Man.
And once we coalesce as a unit and start, exposing that and exploiting that, I mean, we gonna continue to be lost in this system because I feel once again, when you look at great kingdoms like America, it's nobody coming to do nothing to America as far as like weapons, Now anything can happen, but I'm just saying America is a very powerful country. But you seen when that corona got here, it even touched the president. So within America, we have to kind of look at us coming up in that same way. We got to attack them like a virus. We can't attack them militarily, literally, as well as just trying to be aggressive. We need to be more mentally, surgical with them. Basically.
No doubt. Let me ask you about something, man. And this go back to a previous conversation me and my man 85 Films was having. He said slavery started in Africa and that Europeans got that concept from Africans. Now, I said that slavery has been around since humanity has been around, but or in one form or another, whether it was servitude or whatever, working off debt, however you want to describe it. But as far as chattel slavery, I've always submitted that not only was it everywhere, but the form that our ancestors, our direct ancestors here, in the United States, they got the blueprint for that from the Arabs and the sub-Saharan slave trade. Do you agree or disagree with that? And if not, if you do, whichever way you go, break it down for us.
Well, I would agree with both of y'all brothers. Africa started slavery and Africa been around. I mean, yeah, Africa started slavery and slavery's been around since man been here. Man started in Africa, so therefore slavery just by default started in Africa. If that's the position you take.
Gotcha.
But chattel slavery, I would say, started with the European based on supply and demand. I feel what the Arabs did, because it's estimated they killed over 100 million people. And one thing I'm not going to do with the debate with Black Line, I'm definitely not going to try to lessen the numbers that the barbarians and the Christians and the Catholics did to us in the Ma'afa. So I'm not going to try to, if anything, I'm going to pad the numbers. So when you look at the Arab slave trade, it killed about 100 million people in 1,000 years. It's bad, but you are dealing with a long time period. But I feel chattel slavery was new because it put the European in a position where they had all of this land and they just needed bodies just to work the land. So I feel that was the difference in the American slave trade versus the Arab, because the Arab, they were not discovering new lands, they were conquering new lands. So they needed a lot of people, but they weren't being the first ones there, quote unquote, like the European. So
They
it
didn't have
definitely was
that so-called white man's burden.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the Arab slave trade, it was 2 of every 3 people were women, whereas in America it was 2 of every 3 were men.
Gotcha.
So they was more or less, how they say, flying them out or flying them in, huh? But yeah.
So you see our brother Sutek on the screen. So everybody, y'all see that the book From Spears to Pens, Volume 2. Brother, if you can put in the chat where to get the book, and I'll put it up on the screen. So for those who watching, get the brother book, support our brother. But yeah, bro, I get a little turned up when it comes to our people and the plight thereof, because it's like we got this imaginary sense that everything is okay, and that if we read the Bible, then it's gonna be like Harry Potter, and all of a sudden everything gonna start working out. And I ain't saying that's you. I'm just saying
Right.
that's some people, and
Right.
I call bullshit on that, because we've been reading the Bible for since the time we've been here. Like,
Right.
so, and shit still ain't working out. We still getting killed on the streets. We still getting
Right.
skull drugged. Like, we still
Right.
got Karens accusing innocent Black women of bullshit, and they get mistreated and maligned by the police. We see this shit on tape every day. So
Yeah.
I don't tell me we just read the Bible and all of a sudden everything all right. Or we believe in Jesus and all of a sudden everything all right. Because there's plenty of us that believe in Jesus and we still getting our head cracked. So
Yeah.
but go ahead, bro. I ain't mean to cut your wisdom. I know we got a little bit off track, but
Nah. We still there. But nah, a lot of that stuff what you're saying, man, is true, man. I mean, we've been taught, we've been conditioned to just let go and let God, and just wait on Jesus. I'm the first one to tell you that, I don't believe in Jesus. I feel Jesus was put there to get our mind off of the true Savior, who is Yeshua. Because the way I approach the Torah, I look at it as a plate. I don't want nothing Greek on my plate, not even the name. So
real quick, hey Sutek, you can drop that link, bro. I just gave you a wrench.
Yeah, man, the Bible, as we've been given it, that's definitely what it teaches us. But if we read it for ourselves and when we go into the scriptures, Yahshua says, no man can come to him unless they came to the Father. So what that tells the person is to read the text, read what the Father told to Moses, and that's how we are to behave. So once we get the knowledge of Yahshua, and once we are redeemed by Yahshua, we go to the Torah, and the Torah instructs us on how to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap, individually and as a nation. So when you go by that method and by that formula, we're not waiting on, we're never waiting on the Jesus. We're never wait. We are the God because we're moving in the spirit. So, those things that's laid out in the Torah, it doesn't instruct us to wait. It instructs us to move forward.
No doubt, no doubt. And let me ask you this: do you what? Because we talked about the Council of Nicaea earlier, and I know
Right.
it's a lot of misinformation about the Council of Nicaea and what exactly went on there.
Right.
What's your position on what exactly took place at the Council of Nicaea? I know you touched on it earlier, but go into it in detail for a bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, when you look at the Council of Nicaea, like I said, it was 325 AD, and what it was called for, it had for one, they wanted to see the nature of Yeshua. They argued about if he was God, the Son of God, just a regular person, and they also wanted to come together to solidify and get on one accord for the date of Easter, which is a pagan holiday. So they got together to get together the day of Easter and to discuss the nature of Yeshua HaMashiach. So it was a lot of people pontificating, a lot of Gentiles, because by this time, it wasn't too many Israelites in the church because, the Christians, they ran out the true Jews, the true Israelites. They ran the Israelites out of church. They banned us from, practicing the Sabbath. They made us eat pork, so it wasn't no Israelites there. So it was just a bunch of Gentiles that was pontificating over the scriptures that they acquired. So yeah, I hold no merit to the Council of Nicaea. A lot of people say that that's where they got the name Jesus from, Jesus from. You know, to me, that's neither here nor there, and I never found the evidence stating such. I do, I will say that in that council is when they dedicated Sunday, the day of the sun, as their day of worship. So it was a lot of things that was wrong with the first council of Nicaea. So yeah.
Got you.
But
So
when brothers be saying like that's when Jesus was, I really haven't found that in that.
our brother 85 Film says, didn't Jesus die? What's your answer to that question?
Well, his flesh, he gave up the ghost. His flesh, yes.
Okay. So I,
Yeah,
I, I go ahead.
but with that he also rose again. So, like I say, man, within the book, it takes a lot of faith to believe that. You know what I'm saying? To
No
believe
doubt.
that, yeah, to believe that, a man was the son, or rather, God Himself died and rose again. That takes a lot of faith, and I'll be the first to tell you that. But the thing that I try to get across to my brothers who really try to take that you can take that to discredit the religion, but you can't take it to discredit the people, if you understand what I'm saying. Like,
Gotcha.
you have like people from the Hausa tribe. They might be walking around with a book and it might be saying some of the craziest stuff in the world, but we're not gonna say, oh, them not African people, because we know they are. So, yeah, he definitely died, he rose again, and he definitely saved us from our sins.
Okay, and that seemed to be consistent with what a Christian would say. So the brother also says, show scripture we can't eat pork in the New Testament.
Well, he never said you can. So with that being the word of the Most High, if he never rescinded it, which you would never see the Most High do, you can't say that, it's there.
And didn't he say he came to fulfill the law?
Meaning to show us how to do it, how to complete it. Because he also says he didn't come to destroy the law, not to change it.
Right.
So when he's saying he came to fulfill the law, he's just speaking that he walked in all of his tenets.
Hey, we don't want to hear that though when we start smelling that bacon, man.
Oh, hey, man. Hey, it's a temptation, man. I know, man. But all praises, man. It's to the point where I can't must stand the smell of seafood no more. And bacon, it's like, yeah, I can't. But yeah, it used to be a real temptation for me. Not really a temptation, but that smell.
Right. Yeah. See, yeah. I can't. I go so long without eating pork. Like if I eat it, I get sick, and I'm allergic to shellfish. So
yeah,
I would make a good Israelite if it wasn't for my non-belief in the Bible.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that a lot of firefighters don't eat pork because they've smelt burning flesh so much, and they say that pork smells just like that flesh. And when you look at it, pork skin is the closest to human skin that's out here. People
I heard that somewhere else before too.
Yeah. When you have people that practice on tattoos, they would usually, I don't know if they still do now, but they would practice on pig skin. When
something
you go to the
like
hospital,
shooting range or something like that.
The shooting range, maybe just to see the effect on how the bullet would tear it up.
Right.
Yeah. You go to the hospital, you're getting valves from pigs and pig parts in your body. So pig flesh is very close to human flesh. So that's something that, a lot of people, should know as well.
Wow. So yeah, hey Black Lion, I might have somebody that want to conversate with you about that very topic, because I got a brother that's he big on African Christianity and the presence in Kemet with the Coptic Church and the Nubian Church. So I might have something for you.
Yeah, I mean, didn't the cops help Champollion decipher the metal netter? So
yeah, hey, so speaking of our brother 85 Films, he was saying that the Europeans deciphered the metal netter, and I say, well, he couldn't have did it without a Coptic, which is an African Egyptian. Christian. Yeah, and they Christian. But he, people say stuff, man, and to me, and I, that's my brother, so I ain't dissing him, but I'm just saying, like, don't tell me the European could have did that without an African help, because he couldn't have. Because if he could have, he would have. Period. Exactly. So, like I ain't got to make this stuff up, man. Like what? If that's what it is, then that's what it is. Like I ain't here to spot off no misinformation. I'm just gonna say, oh well, yeah, that's what it was. But he couldn't have did it without that Coptic's help, because Coptic is the closest to the meta that we have.
Exactly.
So he was able to help him decipher it. Without him, he would have had nothing. Period.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's something the Kemet brothers should be thankful for the Christians for, man. You know.
Hey, and I ain't mad at that at all. I ain't mad at that at all. Hotep
Yeah,
to the
no
Christian.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
So the brothers say Colossians 2:16, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath day. So do that mean, Christians can get lit with Hennessy? So y'all
Yeah, nah.
y'all
So
can join me in saluting.
so right there, that what that's talking about is, so again, he's in Colossae, which is a city in Asia Minor, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Asia Minor. So he's talking to a whole bunch of Gentiles, and what he's telling them is that he's speaking totally to the opposite. So if I go to a second Colossians, or rather, and just pull it up. All right, so let me load this up. All right.
Yeah, and I see our brother Black Lion on it. So, like, yeah, we ain't got to make nothing up, man. Like, we ain't these people who think Kemet was Wakanda. We gonna call it like it is, and it is what it is, and what it ain't, it ain't.
Right,
We
right.
ain't gotta make nothing up. This ain't no fantasy. We ain't out here talking about they levitated stones to build the pyramids. We keeping it a buck.
So how all right, here you go. All right. So when we read Colossians, right, and start at 16, it says, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. So this is telling a person, don't let somebody judge you for how you celebrate the Sabbath or how you celebrate the new moon or a holy day. Because again, this is him speaking to Gentiles that just turned over to following Torah through Yeshua. So when you become, see, I'm not I believe that Israelites and Gentiles alike must follow this Torah. And that's what Paul is saying as well. So again, what Black Line is saying, he's reading commentary, or he's gotten his understanding from it from European scholars interpreting the text. Because once again, this is clearly Paul telling him, or the person he's writing this to stay in the faith. Don't let nobody judge you for what you may eat or what you may not eat. But what's most important, he's saying, don't let nobody judge you for the new moon or of the Sabbath. He wouldn't have to tell that to an Israelite, but I could see him telling that to a Gentile, saying, hey, don't let nobody press you over this Sabbath day. Because Gentiles didn't practice the Shabbat. They didn't practice the new moon as laid out in the text. So what Black Lion saying is saying that it's okay to do these things. I'm saying when you read it in the context, it's telling you to not be, concerned with people judging you for
No,
doing it, and to
that
keep.
wasn't Black Lion that posted
Oh,
that. That
okay.
was our other bro.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So definitely. But that's a good question, man, because that's one of the things that's always, misunderstood about one of some of the verses in scripture.
Okay. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. And so, yeah, man, I just like I said, I had been wanting to have you on for a while, and And hold on. My brother say he say you skipped the meat, bro. So address that right quick.
Okay. All right. So when it says, "Let no man therefore judge you in meat," meat back then doesn't mean meat. It just means food. So let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. Now, this is the part right here, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Yeshua. So when it says these things are a shadow of things to come, it's telling us that these things are put here for a reason. All of these things are leading up to Yeshua. Because when we look at how the tabernacle was laid out, it was laid out in the pattern that was shown Moses. So this is that shadow. So he's saying, don't let no man judge you in that you're not eating certain things or in your drink or in respecting of these holy days or of the new moon or of the Sabbath, which are a shadow of things to come. These are a shadow, but Yeshua is the body. It's like you would never see a shadow of a dog, or you would never see a shadow of a tree, and it's a building. There's going to be a tree. You're not going to have a shadow of a car, and it's a bicycle. So this shadow is only imitating what the true is, and the truth is Yeshua HaMashiach. So that's why I say he's saying he's speaking of all of these things as far as staying away from certain meats, respecting the Shabbat, and respecting these holy days. So that's what it's saying.
Got you. So yeah, man, we've been chopping it up for about an hour now. Do you want to? I can throw the link in the chat if you want to take questions directly, or you want to wrap it up, and then we'll look at a time where we can have you come on and chop it up again, and actually set up some dialogues with you and some of the other brothers that be coming on the channel, be it Christian, non-believer, Kemetic brother, or otherwise.
Nah, we can definitely set something up for a later date, but we can definitely I'll take some questions and you can we can have some brothers come on.
Okay. Let me drop the link in the chat and see who want to come on. Even if you want to come on and just shout the brother out, give him his props, you can do that. If you just got a question you want to ask, you can do that. But either way, jump on with us right quick. You can ask a question, have it answered. It's not going to be a debate, but just ask your question, get your answer, and then we'll get you out of here. So yeah, man, definitely appreciate you coming on and building, man. I'm looking forward to you coming back and looking forward to you having some dialogues and debates with some of the other brothers, man. So this was a good build.
Yeah, man, definitely. Like I said, man, I appreciate you, man. As soon as I read your message, man, I was like I said, I was humbled, man. I appreciate you, and yeah, we could definitely do this again at another time, man. Most definitely.
No doubt. So yeah, whoever want to come in, chop it up, ask your question, and see what the brother got for you. And or like I say, if you just want to get a brother some props, show him some love, jump on in. But either way, 85 Films, I know you got some questions, man. Come on in, man. I know you got at least 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Come on in. Hey, that's my man, man. He support big time. We don't necessarily agree, but like I say, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. So it's all love.
Right.
But yeah, he always support. If I go live, I see him in the chat, so I'm not mad at him at all.
I must say, man, this is a nice platform you got too, man. I definitely like the atmosphere, the vibe, and more power to you, my brother. It's only gonna grow, bro.
I definitely appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I my thing was to you know, definitely was inspired by the Sonettas and the Garfields of the world. And I wanted to create an atmosphere similar to that, but I also wanted to do my own thing. You know what I mean? So we got our brother Black Lion Supreme in the building. Hotel, my brother.
Shalom. What's good, Black Lion?
Hotel, shalom. What's going on, Gideon? I see you done made it to the big time. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, man. You see me, bro? You see me?
Hey, man, I'm proud of you, fam. Real talk. To have this brother want to do an interview with you, that says a lot about your position right now. And you are definitely a worthy opponent. I can't wait for Wednesday. I can't wait to see your presentation. And keep on growing, bro. You get. I believe in you, Gideon. You gonna make it, bro. You're gonna get to the right side. I know this. So just keep on studying, fam. Keep on studying.
No doubt, man. Much love to your Black Lion, bro. We definitely opponents on the court, but you know, in the streets, man, we definitely brothers and we definitely united, man. And yeah, man, come Wednesday, man, I'm gonna have to give you that work, man. And yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. You know, I know I got an uphill battle, but
just
you know,
don't take this butt whooping personally,
yeah,
Gideon.
nah, cause you definitely not a slouch. Yeah, you definitely not a slouch. So I definitely gotta dot my I's and cross my T's, you know, and
no doubt. And thank you again for being gracious enough, because we were supposed to have it last Wednesday, but my presentation got compromised. So I appreciate your patience, and that was very much a brotherly move you made by extending the time. So I appreciate you very much.
oh yeah, no doubt. But I've had the same thing happen to me, man. So I already know how it is, man.
Yes, indeed. So, and shout out to you, Pianhki, for having them. Appreciate you, fam. You're doing a great job. I'm loving your platform. I've looked at some of your other videos and interviews, and you do a very good job, bro, of being the host of your interviews. I appreciate the time and energy that you put into that. I know it takes a lot of work, so I appreciate you, fam.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. No doubt. Definitely appreciate it coming from you, bro.
It's definitely
no
a
doubt,
talent to that, bro. It's definitely a talent, man. Ain't too many
no
people
doubt.
I see that can do it, bro. And from what I see, you definitely on that path, man.
No
Definitely
doubt, no doubt,
man. Appreciate it.
So my question to you, Gideon, I'm not gonna hit you too hard with questions. So I just want to ask you this one particular question. Now, they say that Africa had a big influence on Christianity. That a lot of people say it's an African concept. So my question to you is, why is it that a place in Asia was the first to make Christianity of their official religion and not in Africa?
And you're speaking about in Armenia, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what the official record is. Meaning that's what they say, and it is documented that you know they beat Axum by X amount of years. But when you look at it before that, you know, and I'm quite sure you've heard it, when you look at the Ethiopian, you know, that was baptized, and he went back and he went told Candace. So I would say just on that scripture right there, speaking of the Israel of Philip, I think it was Philip baptizing the Ethiopian. That right there shows me that Christianity, quote unquote Christianity, was in Africa way before it was in Armenia. So yeah, you're right. It's definitely documented as being earlier, but that's only because they're using the date of Izana being, you know, converted as that timeline. But like I said, the Bible and only the Bible directly speaks to Israelites being in Africa or Christianity being in Africa before it was in Armenia. You know.
Okay, my brother, I'm not going to press you on that. I just wanted to get your perspective. Thank you very much for your answer. I'm gonna drop off and listen to the rest of the show. Again, I appreciate both of you guys, and one love, hotep, shalom, and all that good stuff. And be safe after the show, and take care of yourself, and watch out for this COVID stuff because it's running rampant. And just keep y'all heads up and be safe so we can build some more, family. And I'll catch y'all next time.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
Same to you, my brother. Peace.
Hotep.
Yeah, man, that's big coming from Black Lion, man. That's a brother who I definitely respect and admire. So I'm definitely looking forward to y'all conversation. So, and that's gonna be on Scripture Rippers, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Savio's channel, Scripture Rippers.
Shout out to my brother Savio. Again, happy birthday, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no doubt. Happy birthday, Savio.
Yeah. He getting on up there in age. So, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we can go ahead and wrap it up, man. Like I say, man, I'll be reaching out to you again, man. See if you want to come on and chop it up. If I find somebody that reach out, say they want to have a convo with you, I'll let you know, and we'll try to put something together. So definitely enjoy building with you, man. Like I say, it was a long time coming, man. I had been watching and reaching out, trying to get something linked up, and was finally able to do it. So definitely was a pleasure.
I appreciate, once again, like I said, bro, I appreciate it, man. It's the second time, bro. You know, I've had a brother really let me know, like, you know, what I'm doing is, you know, is being like not appreciated all the time, but really just, you know, a person just can just see what I'm doing for what it is. And it's always humbling to have a brother, you know, come at you and let you know that, you know, because I try not to be with all the I try to be serious about what I want to be done for our people. So when a person come to me and tell me like, hey man, I learned something from you, or hey bro, I would like to speak with you, you know, that shows me that, you know, all this ain't done in vain. So once again, bro, I really thank you, bro, and I appreciate you, bro, bringing me on a shift, you know, paradigm shift all day, and nothing but love to you, my brother. Appreciate it.
No doubt, bro. No doubt. Let the people know where your channel is, man. Any social media you got going on where they can find your information, and put it out there, man, so the people can start finding that info.
Yeah, I have a channel, Kushite Israelite TV. The Israelite TV is one word. I have a few videos on there. Like I say, have a presentation on the indigenous jewelry of West Africa. I have one on the Spanish quote unquote Jews are really black, giving the information to that. And yeah, man, I'm supposed to be doing something coming up soon. Me and Lex Vortex with some Aboriginal Indians who, for some reason, think the slave trade never happened. So we're gonna be trying to educate those brothers and let them know what's going on. And I think that's gonna be coming up in the next couple of weeks on with Lex Vortex, because he definitely have a platform going on right now as well. So yeah, that's what I got coming up. I got the channel Kushite Israelite TV. You can reach me on Facebook, Gideon Yarden Yisrael. It's Yarden. You know, it's Jordan, but it's in Hebrew. Gideon Yarden Yisrael. Find me on Facebook and just holler at me. Anybody need anything, brothers and sisters, you know, just get at me, and the Most High willing, we can make something happen.
No doubt, no doubt. And for everybody that want to find our brother channel, I just put it on the screen. And can you see the screen, bro?
Yeah, that's it. My fault, I was muted. Yeah, but that's it. Yeah, we
okay,
good.
Yeah. So that's how you spell it. Just put that in YouTube, find the brother channel, subscribe, check out them videos, like, share, and all that good stuff. And let's support our brother. So as always, this is your brother Pianhki, and this has been Paradigm Shift TV 314. We'll be back at you again with some more powerful information. Our brother Gideon will be back, whether it's having a conversation or whether it's laying down some more powerful information. We're going to get back at you. Thanks for tuning in. We are out of here. That's peace.
Peace. God save the African king all day.
Hotel.